Well, can you really trust that voice on the other end of the phone? Scammers, they now have the technology to not only spoof your loved one's phone number, but even clone their voice.
Yeah, very scary. 19 investigator Kelly Kennedy shows us how it works, but also shares what you can do to protect yourself from these new artificial intelligence scams.
I was hysterical. That's the only way to describe it.
When Lisa Gibson got a call from a phone number she didn't recognize, she ignored it. But when they called back a second time, she picked up.
I heard my son's voice and he said, "Hi Mom, please don't be mad." And he's crying. And he says, "I've been in an accident. I hit a pregnant lady."
It was the kind of call that would send any parent into a panic. It was her oldest son, who's in the Army and stationed in Colorado.
It was my son's voice. I talk to him every day. I know his voice inside and out.
The Talmadge mother says her son told her to wait for a phone call from a lawyer.
The lawyer said, "I just need you to, get us $5,000. It'll pay the bond." And I was in.
You were going to pay it?
I was going to pay it, absolutely. They had me 100%. So I had a friend working on airline tickets. I called my husband in a panic, telling him he had to get home so that we could get out there. I had to get to the bank.
It wasn't until her actual son called her that she realized it was all a hoax.
And that's when he's like, "What are you talking about? I just woke up."
Paul Sems is a cybersecurity expert with Trusted Sec in Fair Lawn. He says AI technology can replicate a human voice in just a few seconds.
These threat actors, bad people that's their job. They are there to fool you. It's relatively easy money for people. They can do a lot of this very quickly.
The technology is so advanced that scammers can even make it look like the call is coming from your family member's number. Rob Simon with Trusted Sec was able to do it to me in a matter of minutes.
We're going to actually have my work phone call my personal phone, and it should come up like I'm calling myself, right?
Yep. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So I've got the number in here that we want to dial, and then the number that we want it to look like it's coming from. So when I go ahead and click the call button, you should see that come up on your phone here in just a second.
There you go. It's me calling me, but it's not really me, it's you.
Gibson tells me if the call had came from her son's phone number, she would not have backed down.
I would have been on the plane long before I would have figured out that it wasn't real.
So how easy is it to clone someone's voice? Simon did it to me using audio from my news reports.
Hey, it's Kelly. I'm a reporter from 19 News.
Sounded like I drank too many Red Bulls.
Hey, it's Kelly. I'm a reporter from 19 News.
Sounds a little more professional.
After playing around with the AI software for a few minutes, it sounded pretty close. So we decided to test it out on my own mother.
Hi, honey.
Hey, Mom.
What's up?
I'm at a story right now. I can only talk for a second.
Okay.
Can you Venmo me $200?
Yes.
Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
I think we just pranked my mom. I think she totally fell for it.
Then I called her back.
I was just about to text you back and say, was that really you? I was like startled.
Do you think it sounded like me?
Yes.
What can people do to protect themselves from these kinds of scams?
Yeah, so sadly, I think what we have to have is a little bit more suspicion. If the person's asking for money that they normally don't, if they're calling you out of the blue, if it just doesn't feel right, the most important thing you can do is probably hang up the phone and say, "Hey, I got to call you right back," and call them back.
Experts suggest coming up with code words with your family and setting your social media accounts to private. You can even change your outgoing voicemail message to an automated one. Reporting in Summit County, Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.
Wow, it's kind of eye-opening. Well, there is a bill in the Ohio Senate right now that would criminalize the unauthorized or fabricated versions of a person's voice or likeness for malicious purposes.
Yeah, the Federal Trade Commission also just wrapped up a contest where they're offering $25,000 to anyone who can come up with a good idea to stop these kind of attacks.
Now